I thought you were going to sign Max Verstappen.
We get on very well, not always in the visibility of the public eye. I don't struggle to take decisions.
You said there are things in your past that actually don't even move the dial for you in these moments.
It feels natural now to go to the next generation.
Yeah. I thought you were going to sign Max Verstappen purely because it would feel similar for people. You've gone from a multiple world champion to another multiple world champion.
Yeah, I'm going through the generation now. I think that the difficulty at the beginning was that I came into Mercedes. I joined Mercedes. I was a team principal or de facto at Williams, but Lewis Hamilton was a superstar.
Yeah.
And he was more senior in Formula One, not from his age, but from his experience than I was. And in a way, over the years, that has balanced pretty well. We respect each other for what we do. We respect each other's friends. But the next generation of Valtteri was somebody that I managed when he was very young in 2008. So he was a kid, and he grew in the system. The same with George.
Yeah.
I met George 10 years ago when he was 17. So he was our protege. He was our kiddo. And now is the more senior driver. And the same with Kimi. I met when he was 11. So it reminds you how old you're getting yourself.
Yeah.
But that's not a problem. I'm actually happy about it. Less years struggle ahead than there is behind me. But it feels natural now to go to the next generation.
Yeah.
Max is a great driver and an interesting personality, and God knows what happens in the future. But having Kimi and George in the car, homegrown, real Mercedes juniors that delivered at every step of their career that we supported I'm very much looking forward to that situation.
I'm excited for you. But having spent a little bit of time with Max, I think you and him would make a great duo, by the way.
We get on very well, not always in the visibility of the public eye. I've known Jos for a long time. He has my age. We have similar views on racing, and I wouldn't want the year 2021 put any shadow on any personal relationship that we have. It was bad enough that year, but the relationships are intact.
How do you make big decisions like Kimi Antonelli replacing Lewis Hamilton? What's the process that you go through so you are confident in your decision-making process?
Because of my more difficult upbringing, I don't struggle to take decisions. It's actually something that comes quite natural to me. There is an instinctive response, an internal response that I have with myself, and that's the opportunity for Kimi. And on the other side, there was another F2 season to go and lots of testing for Kimi. So you have to, in a way, stand back and say, hold on a minute, that's your instinctive reaction. So that's probably going to happen. But there could be breaking points where you should be rationally and logically acting. And then obviously picking the brains of all the good people that I work with here in Mercedes, and also talking to Ola and Markus at Mercedes in Stuttgart, and picking their brains is important before coming to a final conclusion. And that decision that was made was with Ola and was also in the room with Gwen, who runs our junior program, James Allison, Bradley, Lord, and just to confirm my first initial instinct.
Busy parents, this one's for you. We've partnered with Huel, who've created the ultimate meal on the go, containing 35 grams of protein, 26 essential vitamins and minerals to ensure you're getting the right amount of protein, essential fats, carbohydrates, fiber, vitamins and minerals as part of a balanced diet. All you've got to do is click the link in the description to unlock your offer now at huel.com/high performance.
It's very interesting. Already a couple of times when we've spoken about things that I would consider to be seismic changes for a Formula One team. Which driver do we bring in? A legendary driver is leaving. You've said there are things in your past that actually don't even move the dial for you in these moments. Are you happy to talk about those things in the past?
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about it because I think when you are perceived as someone that is successful in that sense, it's important to give hope to people that it doesn't always need to be easy. Actually, adversity, as tough as it is in these moments, especially for a child, can make you stronger individual.
So in the book, the phrase that you use is a fucked up upbringing. Tell us about that.
Well, it's a fucked up upbringing, but nobody's fault. It was just the circumstances. My father got very ill with a brain cancer when I was very young, 6 or 7 years old, and got operated many times until he died when I was 15. So my father wasn't really present, couldn't be present, and as a young boy, you fall in love with your father. He's your hero. And then you need to have those moments where you hate your father, where you're actually able to revolt in a way. And I had none of that. Only anger. And at the same time, my mother was a doctor, and she tried to, survive herself. And that's why my sister and I were pretty much on our own. I needed to look after her. But I'm at total peace with that now. And I also said to my mother, you have no fault in that. It was just everybody had to look after themselves.
What are your memories then of your dad?
My memories of my dad are that he was a very charismatic, intelligent father. He jumped the class because he was so good academically. And he was well liked. And that's pretty much it. As a father, I was very close to him when we were young. But then obviously when you go through such a dramatic illness where slowly but surely your personality changes, the many last years, the relationship was pretty bad. But not to his fault and not to mine. I think it was just that as a young man, you then kind of have to distance yourself to not be emotionally dragged into more pain.
And how did you do that?
Well, it was simply trying to be an adult and run my life myself and for my sister.
And what age would you have been at that point when you realised you kind of need to take control?
I wouldn't know exactly. I was asked that a while ago, but probably between 10 and 12, somewhere around that.
So we often look at traumatic events like that, and people will instantly talk about the trauma and the sadness and the upset. We far rarely talk about what that has given you on the good side. So what did that give the man sitting in front of me today that has made him into the leader that we all know?
I think overcoming drama, trauma, humiliation kind of creates maybe that more motivation to prove that you are worth trying to. It overcompensates in order to maybe a feeling of feeling inadequate or having been a victim.